I'm Jane Leuchter. I work for the Institute for Functional Medicine, and I'm their content librarian. We provide medical education to practitioners about how to incorporate functional medicine into their medical practice. We had an S drive, so it was a networked drive. It was disorganized, it wasn't standard, it was pretty messy. When I started looking for a system that would organize all of our stuff, they said, we have all this old conference content that we want to get off the network drive. So I started looking for, sort of archives systems that would work for that. And I eventually figured out that what we did need was a DAM system, was something that was also focused on marketing and sharing and downloading and all of that sort of external facing side of it as well. So we didn't just need to store our stuff, we also needed to make sure that it was shareable. And that's when I started looking at sort of DAM specific softwares. So I actually talked to almost everybody in the company about how they use our current system. So we use Box.com as file sharing. We have an LMS. So I talked to them about how they use those systems, how they integrate it with the content, how they put that content out, for our learners to access, and then what they would want to see in a new system, how they would want to access it, where they would want to go to find content, and all of that stuff. The marketing director was like, I like Wyden. The IT professional, I like Wyden. The medical education executive, I like Wyden. So it was really a unanimous decision, actually. It was, Wyden had the best interface, it had the best functionality, and it had the best price. A lot of the things that Wyden did were really helpful in sort of making the executive team feel more comfortable about coming on board with Wyden. Because we'd had so many sort of contentious experiences with new softwares in the past, I think they were really nervous. We really sort of took advantage of that implementation process. Our CFO really wanted to know whether it would work the way that you said it would, whether it would work the way that we want it to. So what I did was, I took a couple weeks and I uploaded as much stuff as I could, and I made as many categories as I thought, and I did all these metadata types, and I really made it look like what I thought it would look like for us. But I did that so that I could show the executive team and everybody in the company that this is what we can do with it. This is how we can do this. And you guys were really helpful in that. I had probably 5 questions a week, for the first couple months, and so I was just always emailing Sam, hey, I have a question about this. Hey, how do I do this? Hey, where's this option? And it was really fun, actually, because I got to train myself and I got to train my users at the same time. One of the things that jump-started the real implementation, actually, was a technical glitch at one of our conferences where the box link, which was the old way of doing it, wasn't working. And so I said, well, I can slap together a portal in about 10 seconds. And so I ended up just sort of shoving portals out to our entire learner base with no warning whatsoever. It went over really well. Most of them had no idea that this was actually, not what it was supposed to look like. But that really jump-started the idea that this could do a lot more than what people had thought originally. One of my favorite things about the collective is that it's so customizable. So when we send content out to our learners and to our educators, we can really, customize whether they're able to download something, whether they're able to view something or share something. And I think for a long time we have just sent everything out, able to be downloaded, and because our user base was so small, it didn't really matter. But now we're finding that we really do need to start protecting our intellectual property and making sure that we have control over that. And there's a lot of really cool stuff that we're doing with Wyden, like the intended use and the end user license agreements and things like that, that will help us sort of make sure that we've got the control that we want over our content. We have a toolkit, so we have 250 plus resources that we give out to practitioners, either who are members or who have attended our programs. And previously we hadn't been able to see any usage statistics. We didn't know who was accessing it, we didn't know what they were accessing. And so with the Wyden analytics, we can really dig in and see, you know, where the spikes are in downloading any sort of content, where the spikes are for specific, you know, resources, and then really just, you know, what are the top 10 resources, what isn't being utilized, whether we can sort of pull something out from the bottom 10 and highlight that, or whether it actually needs to be updated because it's got old information. I talk about Wyden all the time. And I will not stop talking about Wyden because I want it for everything. I want my own personal Wyden. I want, you know, like a friend group Wyden. I want that central location where I can put all my stuff and I can add extra data to it, and it's easy and it's clean and it's pretty. Yeah, I would recommend Wyden to anybody who's thinking about maybe delving into content.